Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name is Karma and this is my channel. So, okay y'all, my battery trying to do what it do, so I'm gonna plug my phone on up and keep going because I got a video in me. So, on my channel, I started off, I was doing astrology. Then I still do hauls. I do self-care hauls more now though, because I actually recently lost some weight. So my clothes ain't. Some of my clothes are fitting beautifully. Actually, some of my clothes that were a little too tight fitting, they're actually forming now. That's good. But so you might get some hauls from me on clothes when I decide to step out and start buying stuff as I get rid of old stuff. But my main thing on this channel has been manifestation. And with manifestation, to me, it's more than manifestation, okay? Because you learn that you can control your reality, and that's fine. But you also need to learn how you're, not how you're controlling, but what you're controlling it with. What's inside of you? Why have people been showing up for you the way they have? Why have things been happening for you in your life the way they have? And recently, I had a shift. Like I said, I joined Kim Velez's paid group, right? Because I figured I would get something out of it, and I did. I got to see people going through what I was going through via their coaching sessions, and then I got to see what their limited beliefs were. Because sometimes, you know how we can see what's wrong with others, but we can't see what's wrong with ourselves. And then my mind opened up, and I was able to see what my limited beliefs were. And my limited belief was I just was not good enough for the things that I wanted. I know I wanted these things. I knew that others had these things. I knew that others that I perceived as having not as much as I did had them, and people that had more than I did had them. So it was no differentiation between a person having something that I wanted. I just had to believe that I could have it. And that's what you have to go through too, right? Until you have to find out what your limited belief is, so that you can free yourself to have what you want in this life. So manifestation for me is more than just, putting out into the universe what I want or controlling what happens in my 3D. It has been a rebirth for me. I am a different person. I see things differently. I think differently. And I plan on never going back. And I am happy. I'm happy where I am right now. Me and my SP, we're in an okay place, right? We're not in our ends that I want us to be in. But energetically, vibrationally, we're in an okay place. So I'm fine with that. But I have a life outside of my SP too, right? And in every aspect of my other life, things are going beautifully. They're going great. They're progressing forward, right? So I had a dream about descending a ladder, and this is going to be a dream interpretation video, okay? Because with manifestation, every aspect of your life is going to change, because you're changing your inner man. You're changing the person inside of you. You're changing the thought process that you always had for your whole life. You're changing everything, and you're going to see life differently. And me, I've always had dreams, right? But when I was younger, I would have these dreams, and I didn't understand that I should be trying to interpret them. Now, a dream can mean what you want it to mean. Some dreams mean nothing, and some dreams mean something. My video cut off, but nevertheless, we're going to keep going forward. So this is a dream interpretation video. So I had a dream about, it was like I was living in New York, right? So it was like skyscrapers, high apartments. It was, well, I wouldn't really say, but okay, or it could have been San Francisco, but it didn't feel like San Francisco because I live close to San Francisco. So San Francisco would be home for me. So I knew it was not San Francisco because I felt unsure so I was like looking for apartments, right? And they were all high up. And for some reason, I had to get to my apartment on a ladder, on a very high ladder. So I got the feeling that it was just a foreign place, like a New York high place. So, okay, so I'm not afraid to climb a height. I'm not afraid of rejection, right? So, of course, I climbed up the ladder, right? I went to the house, did what I need to do. But when it was time for me to come out of the house, I started at the top of the ladder, and all this anxiety and fear started kicking my butt. And I realized that represented the old me, the old inner man. So I was at the top of this ladder wrestling. Mind you, my friends were at a party and they were expecting me. I had some things I needed out of my car. And then, like, I carry a lot of stuff in my bag. I carry my sprays, my lotion, my perfume. And my stuff started falling to the ground. So now it's like, okay, if I don't get off this ladder, someone's going to come up and pick up my favorite things. I have to get to the bottom of this ladder. So with all the anxiety I had, I kept looking to, you know, they say when you're going down, don't look down. Guess what I did? I looked down at the bottom of that ladder. And I was scared, and I was anxious, and I was afraid, and I felt like I would die if this ladder fell over. But guess what I did, y'all? I slowly but surely went down that ladder. I descended that ladder. I got to the bottom of that ladder. And then like the fears and anxieties, I know what they were. I don't want to speak them on here, but I know what they were. And I felt them, and as each descent down, when I got to the middle of the ladder, I was like, oh, I got this. I'm going down this ladder. I don't care how high up I was. And I got to the bottom. So, dreaming about descending a ladder means you are changing. There is a rebirth within you. Because see, when you climb up the ladder, you scared about what's at the top because you don't know. So you full of anxiety, stress, pain, grief, and you full of it as you climbing that ladder to get to the top. But nobody ever tells you about what happens when you come down from that ladder. Once you are down from that ladder, it means you have faced your anxieties. You have faced your fears. You have reprogrammed whatever you need to reprogram in your life. And now that I'm climbed the top of that ladder, faced all of that, and came down to the bottom, okay, I'm a new person, a new inner man. I see things differently. Life has been changing for me. The momentum has picked up in my life to where things have changed for me. Things have shifted. Things have always been working in my favor. I know 100%. I can say it with conviction that they're always working in my favor. No matter what the 3D shows me, these things are still always working in my favor. Descending that ladder means your rebirth, means letting go of your anxiety and fears, means you have faced them internally and you can live with them no matter what happens in the 3D. It means that you have won whatever mental battle you have recently been going through. You have won. You are the victor. This is what descending a ladder means. It's very important to me that I tell you guys these dream interpretations as these dreams come to me, because I know that others have them too. And, you know, it might not be exactly to the T what it was, but I knew what it was. I knew that I was in New York, in a city I'd never been to before, afraid and full of anxiety, but I still faced it because I knew it, because it could have been San Francisco, but I know it was not because I live near there. I've been on those streets. Nothing scares me on those streets. Nothing scares me in the streets of my city. So I knew it had to be a new place, which is where I am right now in my mind, in my life, in my mind, and in my life, and in my thoughts. I'm in new territory that I've never been before. Territory where I control everything, you know what I'm saying? Where everything is based on my thoughts. And I believe that full-heartedly. So, you know, of course, you know, and in my dream, that dream is to tell you, don't be anxious, don't be afraid. You're on the right path and things are going to be okay because they're working out in your favor. I was like, because I had been thinking, like, how long is it going to take me to change in within myself? It doesn't matter how long it takes. You're going to know when the shift happens. You're going to know when the change happens. You're going to know when the change is implemented in your life. And there's really nothing else for you to do. You know, this manifestation journey is really about learning. It's just like, you ever read the Bible or you ever read a book and, oh, this book was good, and you remember the parts you love, and then you reread the book and it's still a good book and you still love it, but you just realize another plot line in the storybook, right? That's what manifestation is. You're always going to be taking what you know and implementing in your life until you get the mental diet to where the things that you want align to your thoughts. You just keep going. You got to persist. That is what the persistence is. Persist. You think you know that everyone is you pushed out. Keep studying it. You think you know you create your reality. Keep going. You think you understand why things didn't work out in your past. Keep going. Okay, I can tell you one thing about my past because they ain't got nothing to do with my current SP. So I remember a while ago, this was like when I was like, oof, gosh, I probably only had one kid. So I had to be about 20 something, early 20s. So I had met this guy, right? And, so I met this guy and I really liked him. He was an upstanding guy. He was a nice guy. And he was trying to put his best foot forward to get to know me, right? But things weren't working out. And I couldn't understand why, because I was like, well, he nice and I'm nice and this should be working. And it was nothing that he did, because looking back now, I can see how he put his best foot forward many times. It was within me that I didn't believe that I could have this perfect guy. I'm not saying he was perfect like the be all and end all, but he could have been the one for me had my inner man knew how special and important and loved and cherished I was to be able to really have that core in me to be able to, for it to come out in my 3D. So, you know, and like, and now, and that is and that is a part of revision for me, because now that I've revised that story to understand why it went that way, I'm okay with how the story went. I don't feel no bad feelings towards him. Well, nothing he did. Everyone is to be pushed out. It was all inside of me and my mind and what I thought about myself and believed about myself. So with this newness inside of me and with this shift inside of me, with this change inside of me, I'm ready to walk into the next phase of my life. Descending the ladder, getting there safely means you ready to walk into the next phase of your life. I went up that ladder. I came down that ladder. I have done everything I need to do in manifestation. I really don't need to watch other coaches. I don't need to watch the greats. I don't need to even listen to Neville. I've heard every story. I've read the Bible myself front to back. I haven't read it recently, but so because I have already read the Bible front to back several times, the stuff that Neville Goddard was telling me, the stuff that Elmer says, you know, the other coaches say, I know exactly what story they're talking about. I can now implant my manifestation mind into what the Bible verse is saying, and it perfectly makes things I couldn't understand when I first started reading the Bible. When I first learned about the Bible, I didn't understand. I totally can understand now. And I have a new mind. My mind has been renewed, right? Thank you. I'm so thankful to the universe and so thankful to God. And you know, I could say, I wish I knew this at 20. I wish I knew this at 30. But here I am, knocking on the door of 40, blessed to know it now, carrying out the rest of my life with what I know inside of my mind. It just wasn't my time before. My time has finally come. And so the things I thought that I was late for life in, they're coming now. The things that I've wanted, the desires of my heart, the patience, the wherewithal, the knowing, the knowledge, the experience, all that I've had before. Now I can take that with a new mind and the new me and implement it into my life to get the outcome that I want. So I'm so happy. I really have this joy inside of me that's coming from me, not from any person outside of me. And I carry it with me wherever I go. So the people that are waiting for your SP to make you happy, no, that's not how it's going to work. You got to work on getting that inner happiness first before the SP comes along. They're not your source of happiness. You are. So I know you cry, you upset. I've been there. You got to stop that. You got to do the work to find out what's going on in your inner man or woman. Your woman. Well, I say man because the Bible say man. We don't mean woman too. You got to do that work. You got to fix your inner man so that you can be happy and whole on your own. And that energy is what draws in your SP faster. I'm telling you, when I seen my SP on Thanksgiving, there was a big major shift in our energy. Like, he stood right here for a good heck of long, and I'm just like, okay, of course you ain't got no choice but to stand here. Like, he didn't even say nothing to me. He was just standing. He could have stood anywhere, y'all. Literally, he could have stood. Yeah, matter of fact, our friends were over there, and there was nobody to the left of me. So literally, what you standing here for? Because you want to be next to your wife. It's good. I got you, boo. No worries. Well, I'm telling you, once that inner shift happens on the inside, the energy from your inner shift is going to push out into your 3D, and things are going to work. Things have always been working in your favor. Even when you didn't know what you know now, things were still working. Things were always working in your favor. But now you are on the ball. I'm telling you, I want all of you guys to be where I am right now. And it was a long journey, and it took me a process. It did. I started manifestation about 2 years ago, and I've manifested plenty of things along the way, so please don't get me wrong. Nevertheless, I want you to go forward knowing that this is a journey that you are on. Other coaches can tell you whatever. I can only tell you about my experience. I can only tell you what I heard from Neville, right? What I heard from Kim Velez, you know, what I heard from Sammy Ingram, what I hear from all of them, and then how I implemented it in my life and in my head, and then how it pushed out in my reality. So everybody learns a different way. So every teacher can teach someone something different. The people that I'm meant to teach, they are on my channel. The people that I'm going to teach in the future, they will gravitate to my channel. The people are coming. I just want to be the one to be here to hold y'all hand and bring y'all where I am in this manifestation journey. So any questions you have, leave them in the comment section. I see your comments. I'm going to get to them if they're on manifestation. I'm going to try to make a video. I love you all so much. for even subscribing to my channel, because you didn't have to, but you did. Thank you so much, YouTube. I gotta go conquer this day. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.